Hello friends, in this video we are discussing about civil engineering applications of GIS. GIS, that is Geographic Information System, can be useful in general as well as in civil engineering works. So let us discuss about some general applications of it. First, we can use it for mapping where things are required. We can map the spatial locations of real world features and visualize the spatial relationship among them. For example, we can see the map in next slide of agricultural district layered over soil maps. So we can see visual pattern in the data by determining what soil types are best suited for the agriculture in district. So as you can see over here, we have agriculture map and a soil map, and we overlap each other so that we can find out which soil type suitable for which type of crops. Then we can use for mapping quantities, such as we can map quantities where the most and the least are to be find places with meet their criteria, or to see the relationship between the places. For example, as you can see here in this map, we have the dots represent the cemeteries, and according to the cemeteries and their concentration, we are given that particular location of different colors. So as you can see, between 64 to 89, if we are having, then we have the dark blue map. When we have 84 to 63, we have light. Accordingly, we are dividing the whole map into different colors according to the quantities available. Then we can use a mapping of densities. So sometimes it is more important to map the concentration or the quantity normalized by the area or the total numbers. For example, we have the population density of a particular area. As you can see, by using this, we are making the population density where you see the brown, dark brown lines in which the population is high. The blue line represent ocean. So likewise, we can divide a map into required data. Then we can finding what is inside. So we can use the GIS to determine what is happening or what features are located inside a spatial area or region. We can determine the characteristics of inside by creating spatial criteria to define an area of interest. So in example, we shows the noise pollution near an airport in a city. If we can add the demographic data from the census to this map, we can determine the socio-economic characteristics of people with living within the defined noise pollution area interest. As you can see here, so we have the data and the people living around it with the noise pollution. So we can find out this also. So by using GIS, as you can see, we can find out variety of data. Then finding what is nearby. As we know, we use GIS to find out what is nearby. For example, if we are have to construct a airport or we have to construct a metro lines, so by using GIS we can find out the surrounding area. So we can find out the happening within the set of distance of a feature or event by mapping with a nearby using geoprocessing tool like buffer. It is a tool. For example, we have the refers to features within the specified radii of a simulated exposure. Use of buffering tool to generate set distance can aid in emergency response to disaster like this. So whenever disaster happens, we can find out what is happening nearby area so that we can provide now. For example, we have this floods in Mumbai, or we have the cyclones coming in, so we can find out it. And mapping changes, we can map the change in the specific geographical area to anticipate the future condition, so decide on a course of action or to evaluate the result of an action or policy. For example, we have the two maps of a same city and the interval of 50 years. So as you can see the change in the city, the yellow lines represent the residential area, whereas the green represents the greenery or the tree areas. So as you can see, in 50 years, the residence has occupied the whole area of greenery. So we can predict in future what may happen, how the population will increase and what areas we are losing for the residential. Now let us discuss about some applications of GIS in actual civil engineering. We can use it for transportation, watershed analysis, environment impact assessment, and remote sensing. We can use for urban development as well as for risk management, landfill site selection, then mineral mapping, pollution monitoring, as well as natural hazard assessment and resource management, and lastly for military use also. So let us discuss about some important applications first in transportation engineering. So we can use it for planning, design, maintenance, and information also. Now, talking about the planning, it involves the surveys, reviews of existing infrastructure. The GIS helps in integrates, manage, analyze, and visualize a wide range of data sets. In designing, GIS is helpful for data management tools to manage and share the data between GIS and CAD. In maintenance, a detailed understanding of the location of assets for transportation infrastructure and for information purpose, up-to-date information system for travelers, the wide choice of travel options required through multimodal solutions can be given. For example, if we have to construct a bridge or whenever we are traveling, we have to reach to particular destination, so we can take the different routes also by using GIS. In watershed analysis, the watershed management is a term used to describe the process of implementing land use practices and water management practices to protect and improve the quality of water and other natural resources within a watershed by managing the use of those land and water resources in a comprehensive manner. So GIS map water resource and link them to a database. So we can find out where the water resources are available, and then we can link the connection between them so that watershed is easily available. It can find out the data of land use and land cover, geology, soil, hydrography, and topology also. As well as the planners and engineers link their modeling system to the attributed data. So as we have the one example of linking of rivers. So how it is possible? By knowing the water resources and their flow. Then in flood control also, it determines the flooded zone without being physically present over there. Then we can estimate the magnitude of high flow events, the probability of low flow events also. Then identify the high potential erosion areas where the landslide may happen. And then derive the physical characteristics, area, perimeter, soil data, etc. And then plot the flood hazard zoning map so that we can move the people to the safe zone. And the plot the food shelter suitability maps. So over here we have the example. The red zone is a very high level where the flood can happen. So we can move the people away from it so that it is a shelter zone map in which we can more suitable is greener. Most green is what most suitable where we can, and the orange layer we can see that is the not suitable. So in flood region we cannot provide the shelter, so we will provide shelter away from this regions or in a high areas. So likewise we can make the maps of this also. As well as in urban planning, we can use GIS for zoning, subdivision of planning, then land acquisition, as well as for urban land use mapping, then economic development, code enforcement, then housing renovation programs. We can use for emergency responses, crime analysis, tax assessment, as well as environmental monitoring, then encroaching urban problems of even small magnitudes. So likewise in civil engineering also the GIS use is very vast. We can use it in every format wherever we require the topographical informations. So in this video we have discussed about the applications of GIS in civil engineering. Thank you.